operations are sent out. The Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّ لِإِبْلِيسَ كُرْسِيًّا فَوْقَ الْمَاءِ يَبْعَثُ سَرَايَاهُ. That Iblis has a chair, a throne over the water, and he sends out his missions, military missions to misguide people. And so groups of devils go out to misguide the people. It's a war with a battlefield. The Prophet ﷺ, when he spoke about the marketplace, he said, the suq, فَإِنَّهَا مَعْرَكَةُ الشَّيْطَانِ وَبِهَا يُنصَبُ رَايَتَهُ. He said, for verily the marketplace is the battlefield of shaitan. And it's the place where the flag of the devil is put into the ground. Now, dear brothers and sisters, when we say marketplace, what do you think of when you say marketplace? You say, the mall. I know the mall because it's so haram when you go to the mall, right? But do you get marketing anywhere else? And you're thinking, let me think about that. Okay, the billboards. On the way here, you saw this big McDonald's sign. You saw a big Wendy's sign. You saw a big Kinko's sign. You kept seeing signs and signs and signs. It kept flashing in your minds. It was really high and you saw it. And then if you turn on the radio, some of the people that left the masjid, they turned on the radio. They're in ma'rakatu shaitan, the marketing. And as they go home, the billboards and so on, then they turn on, they walk into their home, the battlefield of shaitan, they open the television set. That's exactly right. They open the TV and they'll say, oh, free TV, mashallah, it's so free. I love it. It's such a great TV program. Look, ET is coming on TV, it's free. What are they selling on TV? They're selling you. They're selling you to the advertisers. Is that a market or is it not a market? وَبِهَا يُنصَبُ رَايَةً. And his flag is put down. And while some of you are here, your children are at home being murdered by shaitan. And it's almost like 3rd degree, 5th degree murder. Because they are being killed from their heart. You may have come here, you may have said to your children, just watch TV, I'll come home later on. And you don't know that they're being eaten alive, and that's the battlefield that the Prophet ﷺ said. It's a war where enemies are under siege. They're under siege. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says what shaitan said, فَبِمَا أَغْوَيْتَنِي لَأَقْعُدَنَّ لَهُمْ صِرَاطَكَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ ثُمَّ لَآتِيَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ وَعَنْ أَيْمَانِهِمْ وَعَنْ شَمَائِلِهِمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that shaitan said that by your izz, by your honor, I will misguide them all. Every single one of them. Every one of you that's sitting here, shaitan's goal is to misguide you. And I will come to them from in front of them, from behind them, from their right and from their lefts. And you will find, shaitan said, وَلَا تَجِدُ أَكْثَرَهُمْ شَاكِرِينَ. You will find that most of them are not thankful to you. And was shaitan right? He was. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَقَدْ صَدَّقَ عَلَيْهِمْ إِبْلِيسُ ظَنَّ. That Iblis had told the truth. It's a war with prisoners. Prisoners of war. إِذَا جَاءَ رَمَضَانَ. What happens in Ramadan? فُتِحَتْ أَبْوَابُ الْجَنَّةِ. The doors of paradise are open. وَغُلِّقَتْ أَبْوَابُ النَّارِ. And the doors of hellfire are closed. And وَصُفِّدَتِ الشَّيَاطِينَ. The devils are chained down in this war against Iblis. And as you come to the end of the war, and let me take you to the end. Let's say the nuclear explosion has happened, the atomic bomb, the fire had burnt everyone alive. Everyone was destroyed. And I'll just give you, just to make this clear to you, let's just imagine that someone came in here, some redneck or something like that, right? A redneck came and he wanted to blow up the masjid. And let's just say that this masjid, everybody heard that this is about their deen, and they came to the masjid in full numbers. We had 1,000 people here for this halaqah. And mashallah, for those who are listening online, we have a lot here. Let's just imagine that it was 1,000 people. 1,000 people, and this guy comes in and blows up the whole masjid. I'm talking about body limbs flying, blood falling on the ground, and every single Muslim in that masjid is killed. 1,000 Muslims. We're not talking about 30 killed or 50 killed. We're talking about 1,000 Muslims. The whole masjid collapsed. Everybody killed. Men, women, children. Everybody. I just want you to imagine that. Only one person survives. Just as you imagine here, you're sitting here. If someone came in and killed everybody here and one person survived, do you think you would be that one? That's what the statistics are against you. At the end of this war, 999 will be in hellfire. And only one will be saved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your brothers and sisters, as you know, we're coming here to Dallas and encouraging people to start taking Islamic education seriously and taking it to a new level and being committed. When I hear excuses from people, I hate excuses. Because people who succeed in life do not make excuses. Someone who says, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I'm busy, whatnot, that person is not on a path to success. They're on a path that shaitan has kind of like played out for them. Successful people don't make excuses. Now, as I was preparing this lecture, I realized that man, is shaitan ever motivated? He's motivated like you've never seen someone motivated in their life. He's committed. Committed and determined. And I'll give you an example of his commitment, for his unbelievable determination. He said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he was cursed, فَبِعِزَّتِكَ, I swear by your honor, لَأُغْوِيَنَّهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ, that I'm going to misguide and destroy every single son and daughter of Ibn Adam. No one will be left behind except those who have ikhlas to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has unbelievable commitment. And the example of this, when Iblis comes out to the devils come to Iblis on the water, and he's on the throne, and they said, I did such and such. He said, you did nothing. And someone says, I did such and such. Iblis says nothing. Then one of the devils comes and he said, مَا تَرَكْتُهُ. He said, I never left him. And you're seeing here determination. There's no excuses. If you make excuses for your deen, know that the Iblis and his junud will not make excuses. They will continue until, as this devil says, until I divided between him and his family, between him and his wife. And just for your information, look at the statistics of divorce in this country, or anywhere in the world, even Muslim world. The devils are working full time. And it's reaching epidemic proportions of how hard they are working. When we were younger, there was this little story that we used to read when we were younger. It's called Little Red Riding Hood. You ever heard of that one? Little Red Riding Hood? You've heard of it? Do they have it in other languages? Anybody know it in a different language? Urdu, Bengali, Arabic? Nothing? Little Red Riding Hood? No? No, okay. Little Red Riding Hood is this little girl. She's going to her grandmother, and I guess the wolf ate the grandmother or something like that, right? And then he dresses up like the grandmother. And then the little girl comes into the home and she says, my grandma, what big eyes you have. She can see the signs, but she doesn't really know what's the meaning of it. And then the wolf says, the better to see you with. And she said, oh, so that's the reason. What big fingers you have, claws you have, the better to, I don't know, turn the pages or something like that. And then he says, what big fangs you have, the better to eat you with. And then she jumps in and then the kids get scared and things like that. That's a folk tale, and actually, just like the little kids, they know this. But this is exactly what's happening to them in life. Exactly. You will see the signs, and you really can't tell. Is it shaitan or is it not shaitan? But indeed, it's Iblis trying to eat those people. Iblis has, I would imagine, if he wrote a business book, he would